Welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. I'm your host, Kieran Stewart, and we are live. It's the England game. And I know you're wondering, you're thinking, is that a replica shirt Kieran's got on? No, it's not. It's an official England shirt. Oh, yes. The one worn at Wembley. Oh, yes. And the one worn before Joe Hart wore it as well. I was the first person to wear this shirt before Joe Hart. Yes. What a moment. What a moment. We'll never forget it. England are playing now. It's currently 0-0. And I'll keep an eye on the score for you lot who are watching this stream as well. Because you're in the perfect place to get the transfer news early. People, you coming in, right. Like as you walk through the door, imagine as you're watching and as you stop and think, do you know what? I'm going to have a bit of this. Press the like button. More people will come in. You don't want to be the only person at the disco on the dance floor. You want everyone else surrounding you. So get them in as well. Press the share, press the like, and let's get comfortable, all right? Because we've got news for you. Chelsea fans, we've got news. Arsenal fans, we've got news. United fans, we've got news. There's other teams we've got news on as well. Don't worry. We're covering all bases. Tonight, it feels like the transfer window has really kick-started. Hey, Steve, what are you saying?
It certainly has that. I'd say this week it has really started. Is really kicked in, and there's, as Kieran just said, like, subscribe, because you're going to need to be here to know where the news is first. But it's definitely kicked in, and who knows if we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the night, Kieran might raffle his shirt. Who knows?
No. This is a piece of history. No, it's not very often. It's fact. There's professional footballers that have never played at Wembley. So to have that honour, I couldn't give up this shirt. But I could give away something else. And with some of the contacts we're building, with some of the people that we're working with, some of these prizes could be decent, people. All right. We've already got Nathan Ellington, ex-Premier League footballer, as a part of the team. Do you know what I mean? So this is the levels we're at. We've already got Nathan there. So who's to say we can't do a signed shirt from Nathan? Let's say Nathan knows footballers. We can work with them. All right. This is where we're at, people. Thanks for joining. The comment section's already going. Yes, Ollie. How you doing, Ollie? Nice for the support. Get all your friends to sign in. Get all your friends to watch and smash that like button. Smash it on there and share it on Facebook as well, Ollie. All right? Share the love. Let everyone know the transfer news first. Or you're trying to keep it for yourself. All right? All right, let's get going.
I know you, Ollie.
Let's get going. All right. Martin Odergaard remains number one target for Arsenal despite Zinedine Zidane's departure. And then since then, Carlo Ancelotti's got involved, and it seems like that's added more fuel to the fire potentially of Martin Odegaard potentially leaving. There was not necessarily bad blood between them previously, but what was it that Ancelotti said that about Odegaard? That it was a publicity stunt.
Yeah, he said after he left Real Madrid that he didn't leave there too kindly, so he's quite. So I was quite, taken aback that he's actually gone back there. But what he said about Odegaard was just that. That his words were, anybody who signed from Norway must be a PR stunt.
Oh.
And as Kieran just said, that can't have gone down very well with the player.
Not. Oh. And Glenn is already waiting for the Arsenal news. You got a little bit of news on Arsenal's search for a potential right back.
Yes, I got some news on. We asked Arsenal need a right back. That's not actual news. The pending departure of Hector Bellerin, who seems on his way this summer, and the latest place that it seems that he's been linked to is he's going back to play for his old manager, and that's Unai Emery at Villarreal.
Oh,
So
really?
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Big news there.
So then they're the type of things you raise an eyebrow at and go, because you hear a lot, and something like that could well happen. But going back to Arsenal's search for a right back, Arsenal want Hakimi and Harrons. That is 100%. They want Hakimi and Aaron's, but they're too expensive. And the likeliness of, unless Stan Kroenke gives Arteta a load of money, and Arteta's very good with his spiel over the summer, that, as I said, that's unlikely to happen. Arsenal have had a lot of interest in Zeki Celik. It's that rumour now has been going on for a few days, and he's a very good player, and that seems to be the one that's more, more reality, for Arsenal, rather than, when you think of Hakimi and Aaron's. I mean, they're just too expensive for Arsenal. And also another player that's interested in, that Arsenal are interested in, is Mazraoui, who from Ajax, and they've had preliminary talks with Ajax, and they are prepared to let him go. But at the moment, the two players that Arsenal are sort of the main interest is for is Celik and Mazraoui.
And you can confirm that Arsenal are actually interested in Andre Onua from Ajax. And what's your take on that with regards to Bernd Leno? Because he's not a backup keeper as such.
No, well, this is a strange one. This is a strange one because Arsenal don't plan on really getting rid of anybody. The Andre Onana news that's come out, and Arsenal are very much interested in. There has been talks. That's 100% that there has been talks between the club and the player. But the reason why Onana would be an interest to Arsenal is that they would get him for a very good price.
That seems like what it is. They're too good to turn down.
Yeah, and it's like an Onana who's sort of now out of favour with Ajax and the fans there. A cheap deal for someone to fight as a number one against Onana would be too good to turn down. The only problem there with Onana is that he can't play until February. So there's another reason why Arsenal are looking. That's the reason why they feel that they can get him cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like it. I can understand where Arsenal are coming from. Potentially a 7-8 million they're talking about, and this guy's been touted. He's a very good goalkeeper. So yeah, it remains to be seen. Are Arsenal going to try and be shrewd in for which seems like for once in their life, and try and get a deal out of this? I think it would make sense. For one, if the day he turns up, I'll tell you what, you're going to get a better Bernd Leno, and it'll be good competition until one of them goes. So yeah, it remains to be seen. But very interesting from Arsenal with thinking about business, like proper business for once.
Yeah, the rumours that Wozniak Chesney could go back to Arsenal is absolute rubbish. That just Arsenal fans that are listening in and watching the show, just forget it. It's not happening. It won't. It's not going to happen. It won't happen. And Matt Ryan won't be leaving either.
Yeah, he's making his deal permanent, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he will be signing a permanent deal with Arsenal, and it's a good start if that happens, because three good goalkeepers.
Yeah, that's what they needed. That's exactly what they needed.
Mm.
The Athletic can confirm that Arsenal are very much interested in Bayer Leverkusen defender Edmund Topsoba, which you also confirmed as well, didn't you, the other day?
Yeah, Arsenal are very, very interested in Tapsoba. Very, very good player.
Yeah.
The only thing just before I come on tonight, that Chelsea are now in for him as well.
Okay.
But so because Chelsea are looking for centre backs, so there could be a problem there. But Arsenal are certainly they've had talks. Again, it would be a nice price. He's very sought after. He's very well thought of, and would be another good signing for Arsenal. But it is something that is 100%. They are looking at him.
All right, thanks for that, Steve. Leon appointed Peter Bosz as their manager until 2023. Dennis Zakaria is almost certain to leave Mönchengladbach this summer. His long injury record has caused Zakaria to lose shape, athleticism, and dynamism. His market attraction has decreased since the summer, so it looks like someone could take advantage of the situation and get themselves a bargain there. Any potential suitors? I'm sure Man City have eased off their interest, and some of these other bigger clubs have eased off their interest as well. So, is there anyone else? I could see look. I'm not to say that West Ham are in for him, but a club that are just coming into Europe with all the other better clubs that have really kind of eased their interest. We could potentially see some of these other clubs coming for him, and he's still a good player. He's just unfit. You get that back. And if Man City and Bayern Munich were looking at him, he's a player that I'd definitely keep tabs on. Burnley plan to launch a 10 million bid for Nottingham Forest centre half Joe Worrell. Previously, I spoke with Burnley, and Burnley were in for him last season. So I can see Burnley like to go for players that they've previously gone for. They do their homework on their players, and if they don't get them the first time, they go again. If they don't get them the next time, they go again. So this is a story that came up last season. It was confirmed. So I can fully see Burnley going back in for him again. And maybe that could see the likes of James Tarkowski moving on, because I think for him, for his England future, maybe it's probably time that he steps up and moves away from a club that's not battling the relegation every year, because Burnley aren't really, but they need freshening up, I think. And I think some of their players like him and Dwight McNeil need to maybe look elsewhere.
I think there's a lot of players in the summer windows that clubs have got to have a little rethink. They've got to have a think and bring down their prices a bit. One's Tarkowski, what you just said. One's Jack Grealish, and one's Wilfried Zaha. And and there's probably more where they're just stagnant at their clubs, and they're not doing nothing because they've got ridiculous 50, 60, 70, 80 million pound price tags on them. I think it's time that they let go these clubs.
Sorry, it was Chris Bowden that he writes for the Burn Express sports editor. He confirmed that Burnley were in for Worrell last season. And he said that Burnley like to go after the same player. They do the homework on a player. If they don't get him this season, they go from next season. They've done the same with Tarkowski when I think they got him from Oldham. They didn't get him the first time, but they went in for him again. And I think this will be the same. And you're probably maybe wondering, does this kid have pedigree? He's former England under-21 international, so he has got something about him. Mauricio Pochettino, he's having issues with Leonardo, and he was actually Real Madrid's first choice before Carlo Ancelotti. What's the issues that Leonardo and Pochettino are having, Steve?
they're just not getting on. Leonardo is not the easiest person to get on with it with. Last season he gave us his rant about how the young players on live television and how they're moving on and called them names. He's just not got getting what he wants there. He was promised a certain amount of budget when he went to the club. He won't be getting that budget, and he's going to have to be working with a lot of the youngsters at PSG, which ain't a bad thing. There's a story going around that the Camavinga deal's been put on hold, and Pochettino has fallen out with him over that. So there's a number of things. He is just not, not the easiest persons to get on with, and he's not the first. He's fallen out with other managers as well. Tuchel, he fell out with last season. Just a very difficult boss to work for.
Yeah, it seems that the common denominator seems to be Leonardo. Newcastle in pole position to sign Wigan and Scotland under 2019 striker Carl Joseph, with Sheffield United among the others clubs interested. But I had a little look at Carl Joseph. He looks like a good striker. He's got a trick of that he's clearly been practicing. Is this little through the leg flick to score a goal? Good pace, very raw, but he's a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer. So a lot of work to do with him, but he could be a very good striker in the future. Brighton chairman Tony Bloom is willing to listen to offers the club's most prized asset in Yves Bissouma, and defender Ben White. Players both attracting interest from Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United. That was with the Athletic. Southampton.
Just some news on Yves Bissouma. Very, very quickly. Just not. Well, you can call it good news or bad news. You can take it which way you like. But Yves Bissouma, I can tell you, is not a main target of Arsenal. It's not to say he's not a target. He's not the main target that they want.
Any idea who it is?
Yeah, I could guess, but I on here I won't.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Leave that to WhatsApp.
Leave that to WhatsApp. And even them, I put little disclaimers. People.
Yeah.
So whenever you hear anything on here, I'm not going to say something that you're not going to. Just to make people happy,
sorry, someone's saying, Archie's saying, is it Sander Berg? It's not Sander Berg, is it either?
No,
it's not Sander Berg.
No, it's not. And
it's not Sander Berg.
This Yves Bissouma, not a main target for Arsenal, is from the top. I mean, I can assure you this came from where I can, if I'm wrong, then someone very very good big is wrong. So, but no. But again, it's a matter of trying to find out who it is. It's a very difficult situation because he presumes as a central midfield player. We've all heard the news about Granit Xhaka could move on and he could be a Roma player by the end of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a wait and see. Yves Bissouma still could possibly be an Arsenal player by the summer. He is just not the target.
Yeah.
So,
but we'll be keeping tabs on it. Southampton are ready to make a fresh bid for Everton midfielder Tom Davies after fans signed a 22-year-old Englishman last year. I think that'd be a good signing for Southampton. He seems like a very Southampton player. Yeah. I feel like Southampton are like the hipster team of the Premier League, and he would suit that team perfectly. Manchester United representatives have contacted Atletico Madrid's Slovenian goalkeeper Jan Oblak. Now, I spoke long about Manchester United goalkeeper situation a few weeks back when I did a reaction to the game. And And I felt Dean Henderson's a good goalkeeper, but I don't think he's a title-winning goalkeeper. I don't think he's just yet. And at Man United, that one thing you don't really get much of his time. You've got to really hit the ground running, and the goalkeeper can't really have that much time to hold his own, to hold his place down. And Dean Henderson needs, for his development, he needs to play. But for Man United's development, they need a number one who's an actual number one right now. And Jan Oblak is, for me, he's one of the best in the world. Is probably one of my favourite goalkeepers because he's just your proper goalkeeper, kind of goalkeeper. And he just owns the area. So, yeah, I mean, if Man United get him, that's a serious statement of intent, really.
Yeah, and if they want to go on and win the title, they're going to need someone like that, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will. Before we go into that one, sorry, people, working live here. Carlo Ancelotti is the new head coach of Real Madrid. Inter Milan's powerful forward Romelu Lukaku said he would like to team up with coach Antonio Conte in the future. But where will the Italian manager's next post be? There's a lot of news that keeps on going around about Tottenham and Conte. Steve, tell me it's not true.
I'm afraid it's true. they're in advanced talks. They're trying to what they're doing at the moment. He is at White Hart Lane and he is chatting to Daniel Levy, and they're sitting and they're trying to work out. He wants to know where the club's going, what players will be brought in. They're setting up a package, or Levy's telling that all the two of them are setting up a package and compromising on what they want, and he's their number one choice. And yeah, I mean, unless someone before I come on tonight, Conte was, as far as I'm concerned, looks like he's going to be the next Tottenham Hotspur manager.
Wow! It seems pretty hot with Tottenham Hotspur. Will Levy be able to follow through with the promises that he's putting on for Conte? Because previous managers have said it's not the case. I mean, it looked like Mourinho was getting some sort of support with regards to bringing in players, but also some of them players were sort of backed in by loans and deals which some would say wouldn't really suit the club. Conte's renowned for throwing his toys out the pram if he doesn't get his own way, and I mean,
yeah, that's what's happened.
I'm not sure 100%. Look, I'm sure Levy will prove me wrong, but there's nothing that I've seen of Daniel Levy in recent years that says that he's gonna proper throw some money at this Tottenham project, and proper money, not loans, not trying to swindle deals, not a buyback clause in the next 2-3 seasons. But I mean, if they're going to go for Conte, it probably means they are going to throw some serious money at it off the back of maybe Harry Kane going. So that remains to be seen. Yeah. So there we go.
And players have got this habit of following Conte where he goes.
Yeah. So would that see Romelu Lukaku at Tottenham?
Romelu Lukaku and Hakimi.
Romelu Lukaku and Hakimi potentially go to Tottenham with Conte. Surely not.
Well, they're both. There's a lot of rumours about that they both want to leave now. That they're both not happy. And Lukaku, as you said, he's already said that he'd love to play with Conte again. I mean, he hasn't been gone 5 minutes, and already he's coming out saying, "I'd like to play for him." Hakimi's, is like his son. You know, they think the world of each other, and at the moment, Hakimi's without a club. Who's recently, he's been talking to PSG.
Hmm.
So the fact that he's in talks with clubs, it's if Tottenham get Conte, Hakimi and Lukaku and sell Kane, I mean, it's a good sounds like a good thing for me to me.
So is there any chance that Conte would go to PSG?
I can't see it. Can you? I mean, if it's anything to the way Leonardo is, I can't see that. I just can't. I can't see that working. And the thing is with Conte as well, he's not. A lot of people saying, "Oh, he managed Chelsea." Conte's one of these managers who he couldn't care less. He couldn't care less who he manages. He ain't got no love for Chelsea. And someone tells him you can't go there because because you manage Chelsea. That won't go in his head. That'll just go in one ear and it'll just go out the other ear because he's got that type of personality. But I can't see Conte at PSG. And the way it is at the minute, it looks like Pochettino's going to stay anyway.
Because he's got a choice.
Yeah, he got a choice.
I mean, can he find a club where can he find a club where he likes the chairman or the director of football, wherever they are? Like it always seems to be a chief exec. It always seems to be an issue.
I mean, everywhere's taken up now, isn't it? Everywhere's taken up. I mean, for Pochettino's point of view, he's at PSG, and the only places that are possible opening, which I don't think there is an opening anymore. I think Conte's got the job, but it would only be Tottenham, and other than that, where else is there? Everything's being taken up. We all know we broke the news that Koeman's going to be signing a new contract, so Barcelona won't be the place for him. I was talking to one of our sources today about Pochettino going Barcelona, and they would love that. They would love it, and I could see him there. I could picture him.
And he changed his stance on that as well, didn't he? Because originally he said he'd never managed Barcelona because of the connection with Espanyol, but he since changed that when he was growing long hair and out of work.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's good. It's going to be interesting. It's like, as we said before the show started, it's really hit off now. And we never thought we would be managers. We always spoke about a domino effect. But we didn't think it would be with managers, did we?
Yeah. Marcus Anfang is the new manager of Werder Bremen, or new head coach of Werder Bremen. Donnarumma and Locatelli are targets for Juventus in the summer after the arrival of Allegri. But also, Donnarumma is also a target for PSG. However, his preference would be Barcelona.
Yeah, it is. He wants to play for Barcelona. He's a Barcelona fan, which has come out. But they all seem to turn fans of the club that they want to go to.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he's a freebie now. He's a free transfer, so it's one of them. He's got a little bit of leeway, so he can play that kind of game, can't he?
Yeah, but they are in talks with PSG. Donnarumma is talking to PSG, and it wouldn't be a bad club to go to. He does want to go to Barcelona. I've been told today he wants to go to Barcelona by one of my top sources. But the only problem with the signing of Donnarumma to Barcelona is to Stegen. And if he went there, it would mean the two of them fighting it out. Now Barcelona are quite happy for that. I bet they are. Considering they're going to get a free transfer.
Yeah, but they don't really care about that kind of thing, do they? Because they had, I know he wasn't Ter Stegen, but they had Holland's #1 goalkeeper as their backup goalkeeper, and he's top drawer as well. Was it Christiansen or something like that? I
Yeah.
I can't remember Holland.
Did they have Neves as well? Or was that Madrid Neves?
That was Madrid, and they had Navas and Courtois. So
Yeah. But there's the complication where it lies. So
yeah,
I don't. Barcelona ain't willing to say you're the number one. So again, it's another. But I do know that it is his choice. But there's a lot of complications going on. But then again, his agent's Riola, so there's going to be some kind of complication going on. Whenever his players are moving to a club.
Yeah, Barcelona had Jasper Kilson as their backup goalkeeper to Ter Stegen, and his qualities. He's a number one. He's no number two. So yeah, they're not fussed. Tottenham Hotspur target Marco Sabitzer has made it clear he wants to put any thoughts of moving to the Premier League on hold until after Euros 2020. Tottenham are keen to bring in the RB Leipzig midfielder and have identified him as a summer target. I mean, the clubs must be kicking themselves with these players that turn around and say them sort of things, because they want to get this done before the tournament, because they don't want to be adding that extra bit of transfer value onto these players if they've had a good tournament. They want to get the deals done before this tournament and then watch them have a great tournament as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to definitely make Daniel Levy a little bit sick.
Do you think it's the players or the managers, that the managers of the national sides that are telling them
concentrate on this? Yes, concentrate on this. Yeah. I mean, if they could get it done potentially like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and like a pre-contract, like it's done, but they're leaving the announcing till after then that's fine. But we've previously seen players leave camps, players talking to agents, talking to whatever, to maybe try and tie up deals and stuff like that. So I fully agree that managers will be saying, concentrate on this, sort that out afterwards. And to get into these teams, it's not, you don't want to annoy the manager.
Yeah.
Of the team that you're going to be trying to play in the European Championships for. So yeah, just do what he says basically, and keep your head down until after the tournament, which you can understand fully.
Yeah.
Nuno Espirito Santo and Eddie Howe and former boss David Moyes are among the candidates to succeed Carlo Ancelotti after moving to Real Madrid. That was in the Times. Is there any closer to knowing who the potential successor of Carlo Ancelotti at Everton will be, Steve?
It's looking like Nuno.
Is it?
They're in quite heavy talks now.
Yeah.
Nuno Santo and Everton. They need to get a manager quick. You know, they don't want to mess about. This has been a big shock to them. You know, a big shock to the system.
When did they find out?
God, it all happened. No one. Do you know? I have got some top contacts in Madrid, or we have, I should say. We've got some top contacts in Madrid, and they had not got a clue about this. This hit everybody just out the blue. I think I was talking to someone earlier in the day, and we was chatting about Madrid, and we was chatting about managers, and there was a rumor about Ancelotti come up, and they was like, no way, no chance, not in a million years. And well, it happened, but it caught everybody out. It was all done in sort of like over a day. And it was like it was like the Super League. It was done and dusted, and it was in and it was out, and it was and it happened. But going back to Everton, I think Nuno would be a good manager for them.
And what you're saying, talks are advancing well.
Talks are advancing well. Wolves' managers now that's done. Well, it's not done. It's not been out there done. But I tell you from today that you will see in a couple of days that Bruno Lage will be the Wolves manager. And Nuno, we all like Nuno, don't we? You know, he's a good manager who has really started to find things hard at Wolves because you
When
know
they turn the when they
yeah,
turn the tap off,
yeah,
they stop the money coming in to buy players.
yeah. So yeah, he'll be the next. Well, I'm pretty sure he'll be the next Everton manager. He was having talks with Crystal Palace, but that couldn't have gone
Once
very well.
once Everton pop up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know that they're looking to build something big. They're looking to spend
Mm,
some serious dough,
mm,
um,
mm.
bigger stadium. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
makes sense.
It's for. I mean, I would have thought maybe Frank Lampard would have been brought up for one of the jobs. He'd probably end up Crystal Palace.
I mentioned Frank Lampard when he left the Chelsea job. I think it was on the podcast. I said I think that
Yeah.
Crystal Palace would be a good shout for Frank Lampard's next step.
Mm,
He went from a championship side in Derby and got them to the playoffs to a team who have aspirations for either winning the league and what they did last season, winning the Champions League, a trophy every season without fail. And if it's not one of the big trophies, you potentially could still get the sack.
yeah.
So I think if he gets a team that's in the middle ground, a team that is looking to move up and take that next step up, and the lure of Frank Lampard could bring in some good players, and he'd probably be able to bring in some good players from Chelsea as well that maybe aren't seeing much game time. So I think it'd be a great fit for Crystal Palace if he was to go there.
No disrespect to Frank, but I think that's his level. I think at the moment Crystal Palace is his level. Chelsea was too soon and too big
Yeah,
for the amount of time that just to come to Derby and just all of a sudden manage Chelsea. It's just too much too
yeah,
early.
it was a lot. It was a big job, big job. Newcastle are keen on loan moves for Chelsea forward Tammy Abraham or Billy Gilmore. Barcelona will be announcing the signing of right back Emerson Royal tomorrow. Is it today? They announced it today.
It's done, yeah.
It's done. Barcelona had an option to sell him. However, both parties agreed that it would be good to see his development at the Catalonian side. Wolves and Portugal left wing back Ruben Vinage is interested in signing. Is interested Sporting Lisbon. Julian Firpo is on the verge of leaving Barcelona. West Ham and Southampton are in talks with the player. Have they advanced yet?
No, I haven't heard any advancement. They may well have. We're at the right place for anything that comes through from Barcelona and West Ham actually. So anything you'll be your people on here watching to be first to know.
All right. According to Facundo Pellistri will be staying at Alaves this season. Steve, 12 games since his loan move in January to Deportivo Alaves, and he helped him avoid relegation. I think they avoided relegation in the end. So yeah, it looks like he's going to continue his time at Alaves.
Yeah, a friend of ours, wasn't it? Semra Hunter, who's a friend of the show. She said to us on the show that he's going to have another year there because he's exactly what you just said there. He's not had enough game time. He's not played, so hopefully he'll get more game time next season.
Donny van der Beek has been offered to many clubs, Real Madrid and Juventus. But who else has been offered to, Steve?
Donny van der Beek. He's well, you remember in January we first broke it that he had been offered out to everywhere. Well, he's come back again now that he's been offered many places. He's been offered to in Real Madrid. He's been offered to Juventus, like you said, and he's also been offered to Barcelona. They're just trying to get their money back. It seems they just need such a shame. Such a good player.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, like, even more recently, when you've seen him play, you've seen what he can actually do. But it just doesn't fancy him, does he?
No, he can't do. I mean, how many times, as we was talking about Nathan earlier, he's always championing him. Oh, we want to see Donny Vick play, and then even when the game's on and you feel like Man United need something that little bit extra, that little bit, of that player on the ball, someone to push him forward. You've got Donny van der Beek sitting on the bench, and everyone's screaming. It's like, come on, get him on, get him on. But like you said, Kieran, he just don't fancy him because he doesn't bring him on.
Yeah. And it's no good being at the club. He looks miserable. You don't want that. You want a happy camp because it helps massively. And at some point you're going to have to call on these players, and you don't want an unhappy player because resentment grows. So it's just best for both parties to move them on.
Yeah.
Chelsea are interested in doing a player plus cash deal, which will involve Timo Werner for Erling Haaland. Steve, got more news on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, raised eyebrows, but to be honest with you, it makes sense. Timo Werner's not had the best of it. Personally, I think he's a fantastic player. Even though he's not played well this season, you can tell that he's a very good player. He's a pest. He's rapidly quick, but he's not doing it. And we all know that Chelsea want to buy Erling Haaland. That's not news. And we're hearing that they would do a swap plus gas deal to get him, either whether it be this summer or next summer. So they're going to be using it as in negotiations as a tool to see if they can get the big Norwegian to the club.
Yeah. And you've got more Chelsea news as well. But just before you get into that, I just want to say Chelsea and France striker Olivier Giroud held talks with AC Milan Giants last week over a potential move, and it looks like he's going to be going to AC Milan. Does it, Steve?
Yeah. I mean, last week it was. I was told it was good as done and dusted. It doesn't seem to have gone on from there. So whether there's a problem, I don't know. But we've heard from from some top people that Giroud has had talks, and Chelsea happy to let him go to AC Milan, and AC Milan want him. So and he's the type of player that AC Milan would buy, isn't he?
Yeah. When everyone thinks, when you've wrung that towel dry, AC Milan will still get a couple of more drips from it.
Yeah,
that is what they do. And you've got more Chelsea news as well.
Yeah, I mean, with more or less the theme of the show. But yeah, I have got a little bit of Arsenal news at Arsenal. So Arsenal people watching, stay with us, and we've also got a bit of Pats and Daka news for West Ham. So it's not just Chelsea news. Chelsea, we've always said that when you're winning things, when you're at the top, one of the things you shouldn't do is stand still. And Chelsea certainly won't be standing still. One of the top Chelsea sources, probably the Chelsea source, if I could. He is the Chelsea source. I had a long chat with him, probably too long because he's giving me all this. But they're going to be looking for a striker, and the names are that they've got as their on their list: Haaland, Kane, Lukaku, and Martinez. Obviously they will be in a certain order. They also want a right wing back, and those two right wing backs that's been looking at is Hakimi and Traore. which I've been told that Chelsea fans ain't too happy about. I didn't know he actually played as a right wing back, but
Traore from.
I don't know. I'm just Traore. Yeah. You must excuse. Would he be that right wing back? I don't know.
What? The Wolves one?
Is he a right wing back? Is he?
I mean, I think Barcelona early days, maybe when he was a youth.
Yeah. I mean, straight. But that's the name. That's the name was given. Centre backs. They're looking for centre backs because a lot will be moving on. You'll see that in a minute. There's 4 names that they've got written down on their little list is Saul, Lacrosse. I don't know how to pronounce that. Lacrosse. Pau Torres is on their list, and also Kundi. Midfielders Rice, which we all know. And a name. This is I'm gonna absolutely kill this name. Tuhuamenti. Yeah. Good luck with that one. Move on quickly. But going back to the Traore one, Chelsea fans are calling for a young player that they've got called Livermento. Valentino Livermento, 18 years old, he's actually wanted by AC Milan, and his contract expires next summer. This kid is someone we should get Jerome to have a look at because
I'm looking at him now. AC Milan are interested in him.
Are they?
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean that's always a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
When AC Milan are after a defender, usually the Italians are pretty good at picking out defenders.
Yeah.
Ones that we may overlook as well, i.e. Tomori.
Yeah. But then, and also you've got to say if Chelsea fans are watching, you're going to love this. Kepa, he has had talks with Lazio, but the thing is, again, there's complications because Chelsea want to sell, and Lazio wants a loan. So that's again a bit of an awkward situation there. Willie Caballero, he's out of contract, so they definitely need a number 2. They definitely need another goalkeeper. We all know Thiago Silva's going to be signing a new contract for another year. Something that quite shocked me because I always thought that he was quite had his place sort of stamped was Andreas Christensen. Well, would he if he don't sign his new contract? He's obviously he's going to be sold in the summer. I've been told he'll be on his way. So there's that. Chelsea are going to be listening offers to Kurt Zuma. Spurs, West Ham, Roma are interested. So Vicari Tomori will join Milan. We all know how good he is. I'm surprised that he is moving on. Rudiger's had approaches, but he will stay. Then you've got Mark Guric for centre back. Chelsea want to sign him up for another couple of years and then loan him out. I don't see the point in. I don't get that. Why would you want to sign him up and then loan him out? It's a very strange.
Because Tomori's probably got. Is this Tomori you're talking about?
No, this is someone called Mark Guri. He's a centre back. Yeah, it's a strange one. David Zappacosta, he's getting sold. He's a right wing back as well. Maybe someone Arsenal could look at. I've seen him play. He's okay. Alonso, I mean, he's had interest from Inter and Atletico Madrid. Babarama, Leeds want him on a loan. And Kente, I mean, they need to sign him up on a new contract. Chelsea. He's been linked to PSG, but I can't see that happening. And then you've got Jorginho. I mean, his agents looking for clubs this summer. a new contract will be offered, so I think he'll stay. And then you got Bakayoko. He's going to be loaned out. Hopefully they'll find someone who's going to be like an obligation to buy.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got Billy Gilmore. The club want to send him on an 18-month loan, which is which was a strange thing, 18-month loan to Juventus. They spoke last summer and agreed to continue talks at the end of the season. Napoli are also interested. Then you've got Marco Van Ginkel. They've got a lot of players, Chelsea. They will be joining PSV. He's a good player.
Van Ginkel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came to Chelsea with a lot of promise. Broke his leg within the first year that he was there. Was out for like a season, and then found it hard to get back in the squad. And I think he had a couple of loan spells, and I think he started to actually get back some sort of form. So it is probably time that he left.
Yeah,
because he's been at Chelsea for years.
Yeah.
Years.
Someone I know you're a fan of, Kieran. Conor Gallagher.
Yeah. Good player. Was that West Brom, wasn't he?
Yeah, Chelsea's player, but they're finding it hard to give him game time. So there's been a lot of interest from Palace and Leeds. So it looks likely he'll move on and get a permanent signing, which I think would be good for the player, wouldn't it? Because I think he needs that.
So Leeds want him.
Leeds, yeah.
Okay. I think that'd be a good club for him. And again, for me, if Leeds want him, that shows that he's got. They really spotted a talent there. Because Leeds, look at the players that Leeds buy. They buy the unconventional players, the players that people overlook. Jack Harrison, Rafinha. They're looking at Conor Gallagher. These are all players that other clubs weren't really looking at. But they've seen some potential in them, and good player, very good player, Conor Gallagher.
Yeah. I mean, another funny, Ross Barkley, who started off fantastic at Aston Villa, like an house on fire. They don't want him. Aston Villa want to send him back. They don't want to buy him, or should I say they would keep him for another loan, but Chelsea want to sell, so he's sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Fulham wanted to keep him, would have been a good club, but the relegations put pay to that, and now Ruben Loftus-Cheek's on his way back to Chelsea. Crystal, it's funny you talk about Frank Lampard, because the last two that I've just read out there, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Conor Gallagher, both have interest from Palace. And you just said about Frank Lampard going to Palace. So and they might end up there.
I mean, Ruben Loftus-Cheek got back into the England squad while he was at Palace. So it wouldn't be a bad move.
Yeah, no, definitely. Then we got Keller Madison Odoi, the flying right winger left can play on the left, or left winger can play on the right, whichever way you want to look at it. He's got a number of clubs interested. He had a number of clubs interested in him. He had Salzburg interested in him. He had PSG, Bayern, Spurs. He said, but now they're what I've been told is that their interest has gone. And the only club that he's actually interested in now is Borussia Dortmund. They contacted Chelsea on the possible view of a replacement for Jadon Sancho.
Okay.
So that is something to keep an eye on. Last two we got Tammy Abrahams he will be offered a new contract, but he will refuse it because he said that he will refuse it. I don't think this guy is. I think he's a bit flash. I think he's a bit. Thinks he's better than what he is. He wants to be ensured game time. He's a bit of a moaner. I mean, Leicester, Wolves, Newcastle, Milan, they have been interested in the player. And finally, Michy Batshuayi, again, another Palace player. They have an option to buy him, but Chelsea do not expect them to take up that option. Transampore interested, but basically what that is, it's in the hands of Palace. And thank you've already mentioned Olivier Giroud could be on his way to Milan. So there's going to be a lot going on at Chelsea.
There is a lot going on. Wow. Thanks for that, Steve. You said you had a bit of Arsenal news as well.
A little bit of Arsenal. Another bit of Arsenal news is that Arsenal are doing all they can. This is not the first time that we've mentioned this, but Arsenal are doing all they can now to try and get rid of Lacazette. Now, I've been told that they're having a lot of trouble to get rid of Lacazette. A lot of trouble. He's digging his heels in. Again.
He did this last summer. There was interest from Juventus, interest from Atletico Madrid, but he didn't want to go. And yeah, I mean, it's his own prerogative to say how much he wants in wages and things like that. But I mean, if the club are trying to move you on, just move on. Just go. Just go.
Just go.
Yeah.
I mean, what was interesting is that I've been told that I think the way it was said to me, it sounded like it was more of his guess, or I should say her guess, that the reason why Granit Xhaka may leave Arsenal is because of this, is because of Lacazette, because Arsenal need the money. Xhaka probably would be more likely to put his hand up and say, well, yeah, if you want me to go, I'll go. Where Lacazette's the total opposite. He's not, as I said to you just now, he's not playing ball. He's digging his heels in. He wants another contract.
But you can't. The thing is, I just know what he's going to do again. He's going to have another bad start to the season and start picking up. Although to be fair to him, he had a good start to last season and then tailed off in the middle. But in spectacular fashion, as he does when he does tail off in spectacular fashion. And Arsenal just need something new. They need something different. They need a change. They need big changes in that club, and they can't keep having the same players because it's just going to come up the same results.
Look, I mean, I'm probably going to get slaughtered in the comments here, but I can feel them already like this. But Arsenal need to start being ruthless.
Yeah.
Right? And ruthless means Arsenal need a proper number 9, a proper striker. And for me, that means not Martinelli and not Balogun. I'm fed up. We keep hearing that Arsenal should be playing Martinelli or Balogun. They're not going to do it. They're not ready. You know, they wouldn't. Martinelli and Balogun wouldn't play for Chelsea. They wouldn't play for Tottenham. They wouldn't play for Man City. They wouldn't play for Man United. They wouldn't be playing for Leicester probably. Arsenal need a proper number 9 who's around about 25, 26 years old to start them moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Martinelli, it's just an opinion when I keep seeing, we've got, Lacazette's moving, and then after that I hear, but we've got Martinelli and Balogun. But what Martinelli and Balogun ain't done sod all at the moment.
Yeah, well, these players, these players need time, and they shouldn't have the pressure of being the number one strikers at the club. They also need something to aspire to. They need something. They need a challenge, and being put straight in that team and being the main man straight away is nonsense. But again, I say generally, them sort of comments come from kids or people that have never played football and never been around that, because it just doesn't work. Doesn't work. And if you look at the top clubs, Phil Foden, regarded as one of the best talents that Pep Guardiola has ever managed, only just started getting regular first team football this year. The guy's 20. And previously, he's been doing this for 2 years. So, Mason Greenwood, top talent, looking like he's going to be, if he continues his progression and his development, he looks like he could be a top player. Are Man United having him as their main striker? No, they certainly ain't. They're looking elsewhere and thinking, no, we need someone else to be the main striker. And they're looking at the likes of Kane and Cavani and all these other players.
Honestly, in the comments, and Kears, you as well, is Mason Greenwood better than Martinelli and Balogun?
Off of what I've seen, like if you're talking about the stats and what...
He would have gone to the Euros, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Possibly. I mean, I think he's better than anyway, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mason Greenwood is better than Balogun because Mason Greenwood is playing not week in, week out for Man United, but Mason Greenwood is playing for Man United on more of a regular basis than Balogun. So if you're looking at the players right in front of you and what they're doing, and you got to say Greenwood. Greenwood's playing for England first team. Balogun ain't. Right. And that's nothing against Balogun, but it's about timing with football as well. And if you're playing more first team football, then I'm sorry, you are better.
I've just had a message saying, what if you bring in another striker, Balogun, they'll leave. Well, firstly,
Balogun's just signed a new long-term deal. He can't go anywhere.
Firstly, I don't think they will leave, right? And secondly, if they did, too bad. Go then.
I don't believe that Balogun would if Arsenal were to bring in a first team striker, he would leave. Where's that come from? Come on, man. Seriously. Not a chance. Balogun's going to leave because Arsenal bring in a main striker. No way. Balogun. No. Balogun would leave if you didn't bring in a main striker. He was top goal scorer, and Arsenal was still in the position that they were now. He'd be like, you know what? I'm better than this. So, it's nonsense.
They want to learn, don't they? They want to learn off the best, don't they? They want to learn off one of the top. Not that Arsenal's going to get a top striker, but they may get someone on the lines of I don't know. I don't know.
Arsenal are looking to get rid of Lacazette, which is a clear sign for Balogun from Arsenal to say you are in our plans for the future. If Arsenal go out and buy a main striker to replace Lacazette and Balogun's in the plans because Eddie Nketiah is also going, Balogun's not going to turn around and go, yeah, I'm done with this. What? What? He's currently got 3 players ahead of him for that centre forward spot, maybe even 4 with Martinelli there. If you then send out 2 and bring in 1, why would he go? Why would he go? Please, before you press send, before you press enter, please think, because I'm bored of this, people. I will grill you. I can't deal with this. Twitter, you're the best at it. Oh, brilliant. But look, hey, you know me too well. You see me started getting riled up already. I'm going to calm it down. I'm going to turn the volume down a bit. I'm going to tone it down a bit. All right? But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Come on, people. Let's make common sense on this one. Come on. We can do this together. We can get through this. Stop having your emotions run your head when it comes to Arsenal. All All right.
Yeah.
There's some news on Raphael Varane. Man United looking elsewhere on that one.
Raphael Varane. I mean, they've been interested in for a long while, but Man United now pulled out of the race to get with Varane and come to the club.
PSG
And
potentially favourites for him now.
Possibly, but the interesting thing is that now Manchester United have got another target. So that
Okay.
I think that tells me that something's sort of gone further and because like we said, the Man United probably got about 4 centre halves that they've spoken to, and they're going to they all clubs when they're looking for a player they have about 4 or 5 different players in that position. But it sounds to me that I think now they've found the one they want. But Raphael Varane, yeah, he's now no longer on Manchester United's list.
Mm-hmm. And Patterson Daka, target for West Ham, Liverpool, and now that he's missing the African Nations Cup, potential target for Borussia Dortmund as Bayern Munich. Sorry.
Yeah. I was getting really excited last week that I was going to see Patson Daka at West Ham. I thought it was gonna. I'd love to have seen him at West Ham. I think he would have suited West Ham, and just like you said, Zambia, they didn't qualify for the African nations. That's alerted Bayern Munich, and now they're in talks with a player. And I don't know. They'll probably get him, wouldn't they? If they go in talks with them. But Liverpool and West Ham were long, admirers, and we're going to go and have talks with them and put a bid in the summer. But if Bayern Munich want him, then is it worth it?
Yeah, it's a tough one, yeah, because as a striker, some people would be thinking, well, you've got Lewandowski in the team, there's no way you're getting in. But Lewandowski's not getting any younger. So time playing may be reduced, not just because of his body, although he is an absolute machine. But these things happen. So it could be sort of winding down, starting to get a successor. You never know with these ones. So it's probably not the best time for, especially West Ham, for Bayern Munich coming in with the interest. But Bayern Munich, when they want their man, they tend to get him if the price is right, and the players not being greedy with the wages as well.
See, I think I wouldn't mind. I mean, I know he's. See, I'm going down the young path though with Patson Daka. I mean, I've seen him play, and I think, well, he wouldn't be a bad choice up front for Arsenal. But again, Premier League's a different kettle of fish.
I think that was it from me. Steve, did you have any more news?
No. I think that was it. There's no more Arsenal news. Got it all.
All right.
That's it for this week.
Thank you very much. No, I'm not saying Patterson Daka's the same. I'm just saying, with regards to Lewandowski, I mean, Lewandowski's an absolute monster. But with regards to Lewandowski sort of playing time coming down to an end, they might be looking to sort of bring in someone who could be... Oh, Saka scored for England, it looks like. Well done, Bukayo Saka. Thanks. Thank you for tonight, Steve.
It's going to start getting really busy now. So please tell everybody, like, subscribe, because this is where you're going to read the news first.
Yes, it certainly is. Also, people in the comment section, you've been going crazy tonight. Absolutely love it. Ollie Rell, thank you very much for joining us. Glenn Cook, as always. Archie, I see you there, mate. Who else we got in tonight? Glenn Cook and Archie having a proper conversation. Mihal, how you doing? As always, Not So Football, love KSC. I love the fact that you've changed the name because I could barely say that last one, bro. Thanks for the update there, Mihal. Boom. Thanks for tonight, Steve.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Kieran. Thanks for everybody watching.
And make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you share. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the notification button. So whenever we do go live, you will hear first and you will know. All right, people. Peace out. Stay safe.